Okay, sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize there was a time limit, so I'm going to have to find a better way to record these videos. But I'll just pick up where we left off, which were tapping out the sounds that we hear in these words containing the letter E that has the sound eh. I think we were on red, so we would tap out d, red, and that was 3 sounds. So we'll go on to the next, and the word is yes, and then get, and then best. So I'm curious to see who was able to tap out that last sound, best, or I'm sorry, that last word, because it does have a blend. So we would tap out, we would say best, and then we would tap out b, e, s, t. So we would not combine S and T together, even though they kind of flow into the other sound. So it's b, e, s, t. So that word would have 4 sounds. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up the sound introduction sheet for our vowel, which is E. So as you can see at the very middle of this page is, I'm going to see if I can make it narrow. No. Okay, well, we'll do this half and then we'll have to scroll down. But as you can see, we have the letter E, which makes the sound correct. And if you have this sheet, I sent it in an email, and some students might have it and some might not. It's no problem. All we're going to be doing is recognizing those words with that sound eh. And if you have this sheet, you can color the letter that makes the sound eh, and then circle the word, and then you will tap out each sound, and then you would finally say the word. If you don't have this sheet, no problem. Just find those words with the eh sound, and I would, unless you have a green crayon handy, I would just write the word like at the very top. It says bed. That's our key word for this sound. You could, for example, just underline the letter that makes that eh sound, and then tap out the sounds and say the word, and you could just circle the word on your paper when you were finished. And you could just literally write these words on any paper that you have. Okay, so I think this is a good time to kind of pause the video, see what you can see on this upper half of the sheet, follow those directions I just gave, and then when you're ready to start again, go ahead and unpause the video. So remember, we can hit the space bar to pause, and then when we're done working and we're ready to go on, then we hit the space bar again. Okay, so go do that now. Okay, so now we have the bottom of the sheet, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. Look out for words that have the letter in the middle, the letter E that says eh in the middle, but then has more than one word surrounding, or more than one letter surrounding it. That could get tricky as far as how many sounds. And I see one right now that I'm going to go over when you guys are finished. So go ahead, pause the video again, and then you can see the words and then just continue what we were just doing. Okay, so the word that I had in mind was swept. That is a pretty difficult word if you're trying to read it and figure out how many sounds are in the word. So we can tap it out with our fingers. We can say s, w, e. So that's 5 sounds that we're hearing there and 5 letters that we're going to have to write if we write that word. The other one I noticed was fresh. So that one's a little different because we know that S and H together say sh. So that would be one sound. So we would have f, sh. So that's only 4 sounds when it has the same amount of letters as that word swept. So very difficult stuff you guys are doing. Okay, so I'm going to go back and find our key card here for that letter E and the sound eh. And we're going to analyze this word bed. As I said, some of us really have difficulty with determining if a letter is a B or a D, and honestly, having this picture in your head or even of your own bed will help you to remember the which letter is which. And also remember our busy B and dizzy D. So let's take a look at this word. The underlined letter says eh. So then what letter says b? Okay, and then what letter says d? All right, and now we can put those together and read the word bed. Okay, and then if we're talking about 2 letters together, let's look at the 2 letters that make the sound ed, and tell me what letters do we see that make that sound ed? That's right, it's E and D. So the letter E says eh. The letter B says b. And the letter D says d. And then we have 2 letters that can come together and say ed. And those letters are E and D. That's right. So now we're going to say the word bed again, but instead of b, we will say So now that word is red. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, so now I need to find our word find sheet. Wait a second.